Matt Panto here inside Kirby Sports Center as we get set to preview the biggest game of the lacrosse season for the Lafayette women's lacrosse team with head coach Alison Fisher. And Allie, let's take a real quick look back. The American game, I thought you guys played a sensational, maybe 53, 54 minutes. One little run from American got them back into the game after you guys grabbed a pretty substantial first half lead. Your thoughts coming out of the American game, and then we'll get to Penn State real quick.
Well, it was a great learning experience for us because obviously it was very clear that we could compete with them. We went up 6-1, went down 8-6, came back, went up 10-8, and for the majority of the game had a lot of control and a lot of presence, which was convincing to the kids that they're not better than us. They played better than us last Saturday, but certainly it's not. There's no team in this conference that's really overwhelming, giving Navy and American their credit for being 5-0 heading into this weekend. But we are feeling good that we've given each team in the league, good competition. So it's a good learning experience. I think that we built on it going into Wednesday at Penn State. Penn State, top 10 team, coming off that loss. The kids went out and we had them 6-6 with 5 minutes left in the first half. So I think that all in all, yes, we gave up the lead. We ended up losing to American, but obviously both games are great learning experiences, and I do think the kids are in a place where they've learned from what was right, what was wrong, and they know how to fill in the gaps now. And I think everyone's really confident that there'll be a really complete effort for us coming this Saturday.
You just summarized it a little bit as a learning experience, but you come off the field against American on Saturday. Were you looking forward to Penn State, or did you kind of wish it wasn't on the schedule at that point, knowing what next Saturday was going to mean?
We were thrilled. I do think at this time of year, there's a lot of coaches think you need the full week to recover. Their legs are tired, but I do think that their competitive spirit and their emotions are what's the hardest to manage. So, giving them the opportunity to compete on Wednesday against a really good program, I think was for us a better opportunity than having the week off. Penn State, they probably are fielding one of the best teams they've had in a long time, and I do think that we went into it with a little bit of a this is preparation, this is a good challenge, kind of attitude. So we tempered the emotions a little bit just to keep us from being too high or too low. But I think it was you doubt yourself and say, oh my gosh, we're going to drive to State College and play a top 10 team 3 days before we have to go to Colgate. But the kids handled it well, the staff handled it well, and I think reflectively we're glad we played it because we are definitely in an emotional place where we're ascending. So, it put American way in the past, which was good for us, gave us the opportunity to move on before being in the emotional situation that we're in now, with Colgate.
You go into this Saturday and it's a must-win game. Two-part question here, and we'll get you out of here on this. Number one, how much does the Holy Cross game last year help you, as that was a win and in? So the experience side of it, obviously it didn't come out with the result that you wanted, but the experience of it, much like the American game, the Navy game, the Penn State game that you're talking about, and then give us a quick, brief scouting report on Colgate.
Well, it's fantastic in a way that we're in the same situation as last year. If you look at the last 5 years, and obviously it's tough to do so when you're in the middle of the season and you want to be in that tournament, you want to win that tournament, it's your only focus. But, 3 years ago we had not a shot. And, we hit a point in early April where we knew we were out, and, how do you really get a team up to play 4 or 5 games after that? Last year, for the first time, we were in a postseason situation where the last game of the year, it was meaningful, we had to win, but our kids were able to get the experience of having that pressure and that expectation. The nice thing about this year is last year Holy Cross was already in. So we needed to win to get in, but they didn't. So I do think being able to face the opponent that you're going to eliminate is much more exciting, I think, and it's easier for the kids to conceptualize, like, we are beating them and eliminating them. So I do think that it's a different spin, obviously the same situation, so we can draw on our experience. And Colgate is a good team. The Patriot League, Bucknell upset Holy Cross last weekend, which is great for, just the league as a whole. And Colgate was in a one-goal game with Lehigh. They were in a one-goal game with Holy Cross. They were in a one-goal game with American. So, I think that, obviously it's a great challenge for us and will be a very good win. They have some standout kids that, really run the show for them, so we got to be aware of them. But I do think overall, if we stick to our systems and our game plan and focus more on what we have to do, we'll be in a much better place, to come away with some success.
Come away with some success. Go get us a Patriot League Tournament bid there on Saturday afternoon in Hamilton.
We're going to do our best.
Matt Panto here with the head women's lacrosse coach of the Lafayette Leopards, Alison Fisher. You can get a full recap Saturday after the game on GoLeopards.com. Go Leopards, beat the Raiders.